Yeah, Walther's piping. That's not. Oh, okay. So you hand. That's a
The whole thing's scratch.
scratch built.
Okay. Even the stairs. No, you know what the stairs are? They stairs?
Because I thought those. I thought that was a Walther's.
No, the only thing that's actually a product is this. This is from the Walters piping. You can see those little connectors.
So
and
what-
then these, and I'm trying to remember what the heck I use for these. So
Silos. That's what those silos made out of.
yeah, it's boy, I'll think of it. I can't remember actually.
It looks nice. I like that.
And so this is a boiler room, so I put a little. I just go to my printer and I print out, boiler room. So that makes the steam that liquefies the. So I like, when I do this, I like to have some story to how everything works in my head. So like, this makes the steam. One of these two pipes, which is from the Walther's piping kit back here, it would be the steam that feeds into liquefy the corn syrup, and then the other one draws the corn syrup out. And that would come into these tanks here. And then it comes down here into the truck. And there's a hose that's sort of...
Yeah, I see that little hose.
It's like, it's just hanging back over the stairs to get it out of the way. And that's just rubber. It's like rubber tubing they sell at Michael's. It's for bead making, but it works perfect for this kind of thing. What else? And then there's... So this would be the office, and this is the boiler room. And I just do the little LEDs at the top. It's one of those things that no one will really see it, but just knowing it's there makes me feel good.
Yeah, and it's fun just doing it yourself. It's just self gratification.
And I never used to do this stuff really. And then when I started getting into it with the channel, I thought, well, with styrene, the sky's the limit. Like as far as your imagination goes, it's so easy to make a platform and. I think I had stairs from an old kit, and I used those, and I just made railings out of this thin styrene. You see, it's not super sturdy, but it's not meant to be handled, so it's fine. It's only one way to get it. I was telling you about how I used to work Carrier air conditioning. You see how that's actually got a little Carrier.
I see that down there. Yeah,
it's a little.
It's so little though.
It's a window air conditioner.
What did you use for the air conditioner? Is it?
So that's just a block of styrene, and then this face. The vents comes from a piece of another kit that just had that pattern on it.
Oh, at first I thought you scribed them in with an X-Acto knife.
No, it's actually I could probably. What I do is I save everything. Like this is my drawer full of pieces of kits.
Yeah, I got a couple of those too.
Yeah, I'm sure you. That's like the thing. And then I've got all my Walther's kit boxes because you can always scrounge through those Walther's boxes and find stuff. And you find stuff like that, that, hey, that would work for a vent.
For a vent, yeah.
You never know.
So this flat car, did you make all the loads on there?
Yeah.
Because I've seen guys at shows that does that kind of stuff, but you did that yourself?
Yeah, so what I did, the rails... I went online. I looked at what's the average length of a piece of rail, and I scaled it to HO. So that's, I guess, prototypical railing. So I put a bunch of rail that I had from Extra Track. I rusted it. This is a cast metal thing I got online. These cones I got online. These attachments here, they actually came with this, which is a die-cast Masters, and the end I kept on it is this one.
Yeah, I remember when you did a few videos on making that.
Yeah, because I ordered this one, which is the Justin Ernest, the guy that makes these. He's got a Facebook site. And it's beautiful. I mean, the detail is phenomenal. It's fragile, but I ordered it, and it was like 6 months. I couldn't get it, and then I was hearing from other guys that he's not delivering. He seems to really be delivering a lot better now, but while I was waiting for that thing, I said, I'm just going to try making one, and I found, is it Mike H.O.? You've probably seen his channel. He does a lot of maintenance away.
Yeah.
I think it's Mike.
I know you're talking.
But
he's in Canada.
Yeah, and he actually had a video on how he scratch built it. So I said, I'm going to try that. And I kind of modified it myself, for my own. And so these slide to make sure you can get a good fit.
Good fit
and
on
center it. But it's all just again like the ADM facility. It's all just scratch built out of styrene, except for this is a die cast masters, and I just took the tracks off it and I put the screw through there. And I use these. The grating is actually just this fencing.
I said it looks like chain link fence.
It's Alcom chain link fencing, CA glued to styrene. So and I just put the logos on it. I mean, if you're a purist, it's not exactly what it looks like the way Justin's is, but I kind of ended up liking it better than Justin's because I made it. So I keep that one on there. But every once in a while I'll change it out for his. And then I like that diecast masters because they make this thing too, which goes on the rails or on the road. If you put it on the rails, you got to put clear nail polish or something because these are not insulated.
Okay. Short it out. Okay.
But they're they make really good stuff, and it's not cheap. I think it's like $45. But
that pickup truck back there. I think I've got that pickup truck. The fire on it.
Oh yeah. So this came from a guy that he's a subscriber to the channel. Sam. Sometimes I post.
What's your?
I use that stretchy wire. Sometimes I post his pictures. It's like photo feature from Sam the Car Man.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy that sent me this. So there was a guy that he works for a railroad, which I probably can't disclose, but he's a car man, and he worked with a guy that for years, a good buddy of his, he would bring this to work, this exact truck every day with the flames. And then he passed away, so everybody was pretty close to the guy. So he sent this, and he said, that's kind of in memory of that guy. So I just put it on display near my maintenance away area. So I thought that was nice of him.
Yeah.
What else? I think I started putting animals, little dogs, watching what's going on. We were speaking of daughters earlier today. This is my daughter.
That's the new chicken thing. I mean, new chicken thing you just did recently.
My daughter, when I had N scale, my daughter bought me a chicken coop, and she insisted I needed one on this layout. My wife wanted it too, so I carved out a little area here. But this is a cast metal kit.
Yeah, well, when I do my next layout, I'm gonna probably do backdrops. I didn't do backdrops on my current one.
Yeah,
but I will do it on the next one.
I enjoy the back. To me, the backdrop creation. Well, there's two ways you can do it. You can order it, or you can just piece it together. I just piece it together. So what I'll do is I'll find a bunch of images. I do have some DVDs of commercially available stuff, so I'll take images off that, or I'll find stuff online and I just size it in PowerPoint and I'll Photoshop it. Like this road here. Every time I go over this signal, it's going to go off. The picture actually had a railroad crossing sign, and what I do is I'll shut that off. I'll take in PowerPoint, I use PowerPoint like a Photoshop because I'm just familiar with PowerPoint from my working days. So you can actually just cut and paste it into the paintbrush on Microsoft, and then you just cut a piece of the trees that are close to what you want to cover, and then you just cover over the and you fade the edges of the image. So and then I kind of created that doing the same thing where I just cut and pasted pieces of the image.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that intricate yet, but I do make all my signs. I do them in PowerPoint, then scale and shrink them down.
So it's the same thing with that. But I find the backdrops enjoyable. Like this was a more kind of off the shelf. You see that one on a lot of layouts. But there's differing opinions. Some guys like to have really big buildings, almost like it makes the background stand out. To me, like when you look in the distance, things are smaller typically. But so that's like a road off in the distance.
Is all your fence in the what's it called, Acom?
Alcom. Not all of it. This one This one was a kit. I actually like this the best. You see how it's three-dimensional? Alcom is flat. These poles are not actually three-dimensional. Okay. But it looks good because of the detail. It's laser cut.
I wouldn't have noticed That it was not 3 dimensions. You just pointed it out.
Yeah, but this one is. It's actually screening on poles.
On poles.
And they're brass poles, and then this is just thread. The barbed wire is just thread. It's starting to rain.
It's starting to rain outside.
Yeah, get the metal roof. You can hear it. And I can't remember the name of this kit, but the company, they stopped making them, and then somebody bought them and started making them again. I'll find it in a second. I have the box. And then this one I scratch built out of wedding veil or wedding tool.
Yeah,
whatever you
that
call it.
tool. I've seen the people do that one
Styrene.
before.
It looks good because you can like little wrinkles, like somebody cut through things. But it's fragile. You know, if you bump that, it's just glued styrene, so you can break it easier than the other stuff. But I wanted that to give a sense of separation. This is the interchange yard, so you know the fence kind of separates the two.
From the main, I guess.
Yeah, because at one point this was my whole layout. I didn't have this extension. And this was my abandoned track that is now connected.
So you decided totally not to do that crossover there, huh? Were you going to do a crossover right? But then
Oh yeah, I am gonna. But
you still gonna do
since
it?
you were coming over, I didn't want. If we wanted to run the trains, it's gonna be right here. Yeah, because what happened on this? It's gonna go right there.
Okay.
And I had a couple comments on the channel. Well, why are you going to add another crossover? Railroads wouldn't be spending that kind of money. It's just operationally what happens if you're switching down at that end that we were just at, and you want to bring back the cars. You can bring them into the. Sorry, it's going to be here. I got it in the wrong place. Everything's going to loosely fit right here, but it's going to be here. So these nails are marking where I potentially would put it. So if you're coming back with the locomotive at the front end, you're pulling in cars into the yard. You can then just run around.
Okay, yeah.
Or if you want to get behind them and shove them that way to switch, you can do it. So it makes the operations easier. In some ways, I'm kind of the opposite of Lance Meinheim. I would like to have fewer track, but when you're doing an industrial area and you don't have a lot of space,
yeah.
I don't mind having a lot of turnouts because it looks like you're in a really heavily
Industrial
utilized
space.
industrial area.
I've seen in photos and stuff of industrial area that looks like I couldn't even figure out the turnout layout. There's so many turnouts in it.
Yeah, and actually to that point, that's exactly why I started doing these remote throws, because I was actually confusing myself at times, and having to look. And imagine if there's cars in the interchange, which there would be if we pulled out a CSX train and dumped it here. Trying to look over the cars and throw the switches by hand. I finally said, you know what? I'm just gonna anything that's up close like this, perfect. You just do it by hand.
Yep.
This one's a Caboose Industries throw. But anything that's a little bit further back that could be obstructed by cars, I'm going to just start doing these. And I just did a whole bunch on the side.
It's like a monsoon outside.
Yeah, it's that metal roof. It gives it really loud. Florida metal roof. You saw that. That's that Interaction Hobby wood kit. I love those things because the detail is really good. I did this one so I could pop the roof so it's big. So I can show off the inside.
Oh, you got interior in there? That's right. Yeah. I remember that now.
It's got like, there's a guy sitting at the desk and some books and computers. And all the detail parts are 3D printed.
You have a printer yourself?
No, I got it from the guys that make the kit. They sell a detail kit that goes with it. Huh. Nah, but I buy like these cinder blocks are 3D printed from mini prints. Mm-hmm. I get a lot of stuff from mini prints when I need 3D printed. What else? Yeah, it's coming down out there. So I'll put, you can see these two here, Anthony, these are new. So the two industries in the back, if I want to switch the scrapyard, I just
I want to learn how to do that with those, because I'll do it the next time I build a layout in some spots.
Yeah, honestly, once you do one, it's really easy to, all it is it's rods connected with those terminal block wires.
Whoops.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
If I move it.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
and you know, takes a little monkeying to get the spacing right, but once you figure it out, and it doesn't cost anything. But I decided wherever there's going to be a runaround, wherever there is a runaround, you always have to move them both.
Both at the same time.
So I'm just going to do joined up
Tortoises on that one.
So you flip a toggle switch
Yeah.
and they both move, and you get a light on the fascia. I got one over here. Which should be,